I do think Dave is worth talking about because he is the other side of the coin of, like, we finally saw the big Bryce game. We finally saw Dave respond to the criticism. And I texted you and our buddy Richard from the American Cancer Society during the game and said that Dave has a bad habit of coaching for the comment section. And today is clearly a be more aggressive day. And let's be fair to him on that, right? Against the Falcons, he let Bryce loose. Bryce's average depth of target was 7.1 yards. That is a huge improvement from just over 3, which is what it had been to this point this season. The team had 318 yards on explosive plays. Dave kept the offense out there on 4th downs 5 times during the game.
I loved it. You know how I feel about that. I loved it.
The conservatism, the coaching scared. Like, clearly he heard the comments, and I'm glad he did. I just don't know that I believe that this is him turning over a new leaf entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair because it's like everything else with this team in general, right? I mean, it's the same thing. It's like the play you see week to week where it's like, wait, where did that team go or whatever. You go through that with him as well. I mean, I was in a conversation on social media in the first half with somebody I was agreeing, like when somebody was like, I just think he needs to not be the play caller next year and they need to fire Evero. And I was like, I've been defensive of both things. And I was kind of like, yeah, I mean, based on what I'd seen at that point, I was like, I don't really see a good way to disagree.
I mean, I've been saying this to you at least for the better part of a year. I know they've got hired.
Well, I think the play calling thing is fair. Yeah, I do. I don't think he can. Yeah,
I don't think he can grow as a head coach if he is also still married to this play caller thing. I want to play for you real quick what it is he said in the locker room after the game because he acknowledged who had a good day and he sort of pointed the finger at himself when he was talking about who could stand to improve.
This is your team. Yeah. I tried to mess it up for you a couple times, but you wouldn't let it happen. Let's go, okay? It didn't matter. You just kept playing ball. Yeah. You just went to the next series, guys. Yeah. We had some trashy stuff in there, didn't we? Yeah, sure. And we had some beautiful stuff happen. Okay.
So that's the passion that, like, you want to see from a head coach, particularly a young head coach that we have seen evidence over and over again that his dudes play for him. Lauren, when do we see him respond to? We saw him respond to the criticism of being too conservative. When do we see him respond to the criticism of, could you get into someone's ass occasionally, especially the referees, when you feel like there is a call that could be argued for our benefit?
Well, maybe we'll see a little bit more of that because like you said, if he's truly coaching for the comment section, you'll probably see some of that. But one thing I thought was interesting about that was, like, I do love that, he's not saying like, you guys didn't do what I said. And once you did what I said, it went well. Like, a lot of coaches talk like that. And it's like, okay, come on. But but there is an element there almost a little bit of like, okay. He's like, yeah, I screwed it up for you. And it's like, okay, well, just maybe you don't have to go like so self-deprecating, like maybe ease back a touch on the throttle. Because what I don't want to have, if you're as a fellow self-deprecator myself, that's also not great in a position of like being in charge of stuff. I don't think that, like, if I'm looking at someone as my leader and they're talking like that, I'm like, well, am I 100% sure I can trust you next time you go tell me to do something and you're sure?
So I'm glad
I'm nitpicking slightly, but like, I do, I think I like that he doesn't blame them, and I like that he takes accountability, but it's like, it's a little bit like, if I'm a player, I wonder how much of that there is, and I wonder how much that contributes to some of the up and down of it. And I do think that's why I think it could help if they got a guy in. It could be a guy that, like, they're on the same page as play callers, because I think that is important. And I like a lot of what Dave's done from a play calling perspective, but it's like we've talked about. I just think it's hard for him to juggle both right now.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I think that, to your point of liking what you're seeing, and I guess my question is always going to be, is this style of coaching, personality management, is it good? Is this real? I mean, I think this game is more proof that the dude can in fact be bullied, right? Think back to what he wanted to do with the running backs and what eventually he listened to people and he did. There are times that can work out great. There are times, though, it leaves me wondering, what is or does he have a real defined philosophy? And look, maybe part of that is about, I think I just need to give up on one of these headphones. I think part of that is about him growing into the role of being a head coach. And also, as we, just talked about, like he was a play caller for 1 year. He's still growing in to that role as well. I like a coach that can hear criticism and put it into action. And I know it is very easy to say this looks like he's coaching for the comment section. There are probably other things at play.
Yeah, because that can work against you too, obviously.
Exactly. Like what if the groundswell in the fan base is I guess the one that springs to mind
to start Kyle Allen.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like the groundswell is Bryce is not the dude, so he benches him in favor of Andy Dalton, who clearly just doesn't have it anymore. And
I was gonna say, I think even people that don't think Bryce is the dude are not clamoring for Andy at this point.
No, for sure. But that is going from 1 to 11 immediately, right? Jumping from to point A to point Z immediately. But I do.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's like, what do you actually stand for? What hills are you dying on? And what do you think is going to work if you keep at it, even if it's not working right now? And I mean, look, maybe Xavier Lee gets an example of that for him. That's
a good way. I was going to say, I think we can clearly say the hill he will die on, where he will dig his feet in, is he's not quick to pull the hook on his guys, and I think he's the kind of coach
if he believes in you, like if he believes in you and he thinks you've got it, and he's like, no, I know this guy will get it if we just keep at it. There are times where you want to tear your hair out about it, and people have been freaking out about Xavier for a long time, and I'm not immune from it. I've done it too, but it's clearly starting to pay off. And I think, again, you and I talked about this too. I think the long-term payoff could be even more significant than even just the this year payoff. And I think he is thinking in those terms because he's young. So that helps when you've got your whole life ahead of you, as opposed to some of these coaches that are
Look, he is what, 40? He's 44. I think he's my age. And so it's not like he is one of these, under 35 wonderkins that we have seen in the past. He is certainly seasoned, and I really like the idea of the guys it is that he has learned under and been influenced by, especially in terms of the way that a guy like Pete Carroll handles his personnel. I think that is a great model that you want coming in. I think, look, you and I talked about this last season. Do we have hot person bias on Dave in terms of giving him the benefit of the doubt? I wonder if I have a little bit of hot person bias of, I feel like I can tell when he is scared or the moment is too big for him. Maybe I don't really. Maybe it is just projecting.
I feel like I can't. And I don't
really
like that. Yeah.
Really?
Well, maybe in his play calling and behaviors, yes, but not in his face. Not like a Shane Beamer face, where he,
yeah, that's fair.
where he literally looks like he was just told that someone died in those moments.
Yeah, Shane Beamer doesn't have hot person bias though. He has
no.
I mean, I guess
he makes an oh shit face.
Troll. Yeah,
he makes an oh shit face though. That's the thing, and Dave doesn't. If whatever Dave is feeling, you don't see it ever. And that's for better or worse, and that always bothers me, to be honest, because I'm like, why do I just get that flat, half smile face from you? Where are your emotions, sir? Where are they?
Maybe this is a difference in what you and I do for the podcast, because I gather all the audio. I watch the post game. I feel like when he's at a microphone, you absolutely can tell on his face what his answer either is about to be, if he's being honest, or what his answer is not saying.
Well, yeah, he's not a good liar. I will agree with you. And, he's not a good bullshitter. So, I agree with you there in that, yes, post game and stuff. But I'm talking during the game, I can't tell. During the game, I'm always like, what? Where is the emotion?
Before we move on, I do want to circle back on Shane Beamer and give him credit for being as attractive as you can be when working with Beamer DNA.